And we've talked about this. You called the enforcement of illegal immigrants a modern-day Gestapo. You've been asked 3-4 times if you would rescind that, and you won't. Will you rescind it? This is like the 5th time, yes or no?
Congressman, I was talking to law students about due process, and I said
you
took an oath to due process.
Governor, was there a violent al-Shabaab terrorist who entered our country illegally arrested in Minneapolis last year?
Hey everyone, welcome back to True Voice. I'm Andrew, and today we're breaking down a congressional hearing that honestly tells you everything you need to know about how the right tries to twist conversations on age, race, and diversity in this country. Now let's watch.
One from the National Immigration Center.
Without objection to order.
National Immigrant Justice Center and the Alliance for Immigrants.
Without objection to order.
They speak for themselves.
Chair recognizes Mr. Stauber from Minnesota.
Thank you very much. Governor Rawls, thanks for being here today. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I ask you to keep your remarks brief. I got a lot to go through. As you know, I spent 23 years as a law enforcement officer in the state of Minnesota. You know that, right? Do you know that, yes or no?
I don't know how many. It's
not a trick question.
I don't know.
I'll answer it for you. 23 years in Duluth.
Thank you for that.
So, Governor, do you recognize this picture?
I do recognize the picture.
Briefly describe it to us. What is it? What's going on?
These were folks, I believe the people in the picture now are incarcerated in Minnesota.
It's a precinct 3 burning down because of your decision. Was this a peaceful protest? Was this a peaceful protest?
The gentleman standing there?
Was this a peaceful protest?
It was a criminal act that people were prosecuted for.
So it wasn't a peaceful protest, right? As I watched lawlessness devastate Los Angeles this past week, I was reminded of your failure to protect Minnesota from similar riots. Governor Walz, on May 29th of 2020, during your own press conference, you described your response to the riots during the 2020 Summer of Love as, quote, an abject failure. Governor, I couldn't agree with you more.
That's out of context.
And on May 17th, 2025, you were at the law school, graduating Minnesota Law School, talking to the graduates. And we've talked about this. You called the enforcement of illegal immigrants a modern-day Gestapo. You've been asked 3-4 times if you would rescind that, and you won't. Will you rescind it? This is like the 5th time, yes or no?
Congressman, I was talking to law students about due process, and I said
you
took an oath to due process.
Governor, was there a violent al-Shabaab terrorist who entered our country illegally arrested in Minneapolis last year? Yes, there was. Were there 3 illegal child predators arrested by ICE in St. Paul earlier this year?
I certainly hope so. That's their job.
Yes, there was. Are the officers who arrested the al-Shabaab terrorists or the child predators, are they Nazis or the Gestapo?
The tactics of wearing
They're
masks.
not.
The tactics of wearing masks.
Why did you tell us that they were the Gestapo? Do you believe that any of the violent illegal immigrants I have mentioned have a right to be in this country?
I don't know what their immigration status was.
They're illegal, violent criminals that ICE took off the streets of Minneapolis.
You did not say, Congressman, what their status
Governor,
was.
last week, law enforcement officers in the state of Minnesota took 900 pounds of meth off the streets. Do you support that?
We certainly do.
Do you know that ICE assisted in that those arrests and investigations? Do you support the assistance of ICE in that enforcement action? Yes or no?
I can't speak to that because we were not included in the briefing.
You don't know if ICE was part of it? I'm telling you they were.
I don't have that data. I would have to trust you.
Will you apologize to our constituents and law enforcement officers for making them and their families less safe with your incendiary actions?
I'll congratulate them that they helped us work on the largest pension bill for Minnesota law enforcement in 30 years.
Claiming my time. Governor, what weapons did you carry in war?
Congressman, for 24 years, I carried...
No. What weapons did you carry in war?
What did you carry in uniform?
I
You
tell you
know I
what, Governor,
misspoke.
you're
You know I
barking down the
misspoke.
wrong tree, okay?
You know I
You
misspoke.
lied to the Minnesotans. You said that you carried weapons in war.
Mr.
That
Chairman.
is stolen valor. You know what? My wife
Yeah,
served 25,
Mr. Chairman,
24
I
years in the
reckon-
a little bit of
military,
respect for the
and she's
witness.
an Iraq war veteran.
You know what I mean?
She was
This is
over in
hectoring. It's
the
not-
war
not-
zone. That's
On a point
stolen
of-
valor, and I'm so
Point of order,
disgusted with
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
And so are the people that you served
Point
with.
of order.
Point of order.
That's
Halt,
stolen
halt
valor.
just a minute. State
Stolen
point.
valor.
Mr.
You didn't
Chairman,
carry weapons
that's
in
not questioning
war.
the witness.
Congressman, my 24 years was
That's not-
public
Will
for
you
many, many
apologize
years.
for lying?
Objection.
Will you
No, I misspoke.
apologize for lying?
Objection.
All right, hold on, pause.
That's not questioning a witness. That's not questioning a witness. You think
Point of
so,
order.
huh?
State your point, Mr. Rankimer.
No, you're
State
yelling
your
at
point.
him.
There
You're
you
hectoring. You're hectoring. You're hectoring.
right.
You're hectoring.
State your
Governor,
point.
you didn't carry
that's
weapons
not-
in war, did you?
State your point.
You didn't
Proceed.
carry
You
weapons
got
in war,
24 seconds.
did you?
Congressman, you
You
know I
didn't
misspoke.
carry weapons in war, yes or no?
you.
You lied. Governor, what rank did you retire at?
I
What rank
served,
did you retire at?
Congressman, I served my battalion as the command sergeant
That's
major.
not the
and
question
for
I asked.
pay-
What rank did you retire at?
I retired as a master sergeant in
Okay,
EA.
here's your coin that says you're retired at a command sergeant major. That's
Says
your
I wore
challenge
that.
coin.
It
This
says
is-
I wore the rank.
This is that's right. You didn't retire, did you?
I did
Stolen
retire after
valor.
24 years.
Here is a picture of your coin, your challenge
Jesus
coin.
Christ.
I'm disgusted with you. I'm just.
Mr.
Governor,
Chairman, the
you
time
lie
has
when the
expired.
truth-
Congressman,
you lie
I'm-
when the
I'm
truth
Gentleman's
is
time's
better.
expired.
You called half Trump supporters Nazis and fascists, and you know what? That's why the Minnesota Police and Peace Association did not support you in the last election because
Well, I
you're
support
missing
them.
action.
Gentleman's time's expired.
On behalf of the folks from the land of rocks and cows, thank you. Now you go back.
Chair recognizes Ms. Tenney from New York.
So let's set the stage. Dr. Harper, a witness at the hearing, was grilled about whether ageism is a form of bigotry. She said yes, and she's right. Discrimination based on age, whether it's against young people just entering the workforce or older Americans with decades of experience, is a real problem. But instead of having a thoughtful discussion, the congressman tried to corner her into admitting that anyone who questions Biden's age is automatically a bigot. That's not what she said, and frankly, it's a cheap trick. Here's the thing. As Democrats, we can acknowledge concerns about age without demeaning older Americans or feeding into stereotypes. What matters isn't a number, it's whether leaders can do their job. And using Biden's age as a political weapon is just another distraction from policy failures the GOP doesn't want to talk about. Then came the real pivot, race. The congressman demanded a yes or no answer on whether America should be a colorblind society. Now let's pause here. The phrase colorblind society sounds nice on the surface, but in reality, it's just a way of ignoring the very real systemic racism that still exists. Dr. Harper tried to explain that our nation hasn't done right by indigenous peoples, Black Americans, Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders, you name it. She's right. We can't fix injustice by pretending it doesn't exist. And when she was asked if race should be considered in hiring, she said diversity should matter. And guess what? That's not radical. It's reality. Companies, schools, even the military are stronger when they reflect the diversity of America. It's not about giving preference to one race over another. It's about leveling the playing field and creating opportunity where barriers have existed for generations. Of course, the congressman kept trying to box her in. Yes or no, should race be a factor? But issues like hiring and college admissions are complex. That's why Dr. Harper supported holistic admissions, because people are more than test scores. Their experiences, backgrounds, and perspectives. So here's my takeaway. This wasn't about finding truth. This was about a Republican lawmaker trying to score points by reducing complex social issues into soundbites. But the reality is fighting ageism, racism, and inequality requires nuance. It requires honesty. And it requires us to stop letting the right define the conversation in oversimplified, bad faith terms. As a patriot, I believe America is strongest when all of us have a fair shot. Young, old, black, white, immigrant, indigenous, whoever you are. That's the promise of democracy. And that's what we should be fighting for. Thanks for tuning in to True Voice. I'm Andrew. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you believe in a more equal, just, and inclusive America. Until next time, stay strong, stay hopeful, and keep speaking truth.